Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And it's a new week of amazing guests here that we're going to be having lined up on our show. And then we are moving into a mastermind weekend here at the end of the week. We are all flying in, driving in, walking in, riding in, however we can get there to Orlando, Florida for the famous and legendary masterminds. And we're going to be having our biggest crowd yet inside of our biggest mastermind mansion yet. And it is going to be a mastermind to remember. Some of you may have seen that we posted inside of our Facebook group the speaker lineup. Of course, I'll be there. Our team will be there. At least many of our team members will be there. We are going to have Chelsea Weemet that is going to be speaking. We are going to be having Josh Smith is going to be a speaker. Let's see if I can find my Facebook page here so I make sure I don't miss anybody. Let me pull it up here real quick. If you guys are not a part of our Facebook group, then get in there and be a part of our Facebook group. It's one of the places that you oftentimes hear about inside of, or right here on these Wake Up Legendary shows every morning. Where people are talking about, oh, I posted a question in there, and it was answered right away, and people are so helpful, and kind of all of that, and we're really proud of our community here. All right, hold on, I'm still scrolling through here, looking for the little graphic that we posted inside of Facebook here the other day, because I want to share and show it. And let me just pull this up, by the way, before we bring out Eva here in a second, and just kind of show all of you viewers who may not really know about our Facebook group and how thriving our communities really are. A lot of times you go into people's Facebook groups, or companies, not people. Everybody has to start somewhere, and so Facebook groups can oftentimes start out a little bit slow. But just our main general Facebook group here has over 93 people inside of the group. We're getting 100 plus member requests. We've got 17 pending approvals because people are making posts, and we have to approve those posts to make sure it's not spammy. We've got people who are posting their hey, I just got started with the blueprints post inside of our group, just to kind of let everybody know that and look, you scroll through, you see all of these different faces and these different names, people from all walks of life, from literally all over the world. And they're sharing the beginning of their journey. You'll see some post from people in the middle of their journey, and then you'll see some posts from people, all throughout their journey. So it's a really cool, it's a really cool community, and it's really just something that everybody deserves to be a part of. Let me pull up this graphic here and show you who all we have, presenting and speaking at our mastermind coming up this weekend. Of course, Chelsea Weemet, who's been absolutely crushing it inside of affiliate marketing in general, is clearly breaking records, kicking butt and taking names here in Legendary Marketer. We have M. Walcott, we have Steffi Chen, we have Sarah Thompson, and of course, Josh Smith. Again, I'll be there. If I'm not mistaken, Caroline Hane will be there. Becca will be there. You might find Phil Kohlberger there. You might find Amy Hires there. You might find a lot of the different names, Sean Sorrentos. You might find a lot of the different names that you see inside of our community, pop up, hanging out, listening, learning at these masterminds, whether they're speaking or not, just because they're really one of a kind. There's nothing like them. And for all of you who are going to be there at this mastermind live and in person, I can't personally wait to meet you. You're going to be blown away by just the way in which we are so kind of down to earth at these masterminds. It's not a bunch of flash and trash. It's not like a lot of the things that you see at some of these other, events out here where, everybody is a guru, and, you don't have access to people, and there's games that are being played. Even me, myself, these are a couple of the images, just of kind of how I interact and facilitate, at these masterminds. It's a lot of just question and answer. It's very intimate. It's very close up and personal. It's an opportunity for people to come and really, hear right from the horse's mouth, whoever is speaking. Of course, lots of laughs, lots of pictures, lots of photos that are happening here at the mastermind, and just an incredible amount of like growing and being able to see somebody that you look up to on the internet realize that, wow, they're a human being just like you. They put their pants on the same exact way. And if they can do it, then there's no reason why you can't have similar success as well. So with that being said, again, looking forward to seeing all of you this weekend, and or this coming weekend at the end of this week. And if you have an opportunity to get to a mastermind in the future, do it. Reach out to your business plan advisor. Email us. You can email me, Dave@legendarymarketer.com. You can reach out to Joanne at legendarymarketer.com. She's our director of marketing and live events. And so, you can, we are all accessible. We're all reachable. And Lisa, we host all of the masterminds. Every single one of the masterminds up until this point has been in Orlando, Florida. And so it's a great hub to be able to fly into. You can, of course, hang out at Disney or anywhere else that you want to hang out before or after or during, your choice. This is all about freedom to do whatever you want. And so with that being said, let's get on to our guest, Eva, this morning. She is a stay-at-home mom that's building a thriving digital marketing business through the power of, social media, through the power of Instagram, through the power of, just authenticity and, connecting with her audience. And I just can't wait to talk to her and hear her story. With that being said, Eva, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning.
Hello. Thank you for allowing me to give a little mastermind behind the scenes intro.
I have FOMO now. I wish I got the tickets. I didn't realize it's in Florida, and I'm in Florida.
Well,
I didn't know that. So I wish maybe next one.
Yeah, for sure. We would love to see you. And of course, this is a great way to connect with you at first, even if we're not going to see you this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm honored to have you on the show. So tell us a little bit, Eva, how you found Legendary. What were you looking for? Do you feel like you found what you were looking for? Give us a little bit of your backstory and how you got here.
So my story and what ultimately led me to Legendary started over 20 years ago. I moved here from Poland with my family going into 6th grade. And, as I'm sure a lot of immigrants have the mindset of this American dream. And that's what my mom had in mind when she moved us here. And so, as long as you work hard, you go to school, you show up at work and you show your boss that you're a good employee, you're going to get that white picket fence and the golden retriever and all of those things, right? So we moved here. I went into 6th grade. I remember the first day, I did not speak a word of English. My mom didn't speak any English. She dropped me off at school. And I remember that first year was so tough. I was bullied like insanely because the kids knew that I don't know the language enough to even tell anybody what they're doing. But, I kept my head down. I kept working. I got into a good college. I did a double major. So I did twice the classes that I would normally do in the 4 years because I wanted my resume to look really good for the employees, for the employers. And I remember getting my first job after college. I was thinking like, this is my American dream coming true. I'll get a car. I'll get to move out. I'll do all the things I've always wanted to do. And then that dream just kept just came crushing down as soon as I got that first paycheck. And I realized that, it really, a full-time job really isn't going to get me where I was hoping it will get me. So really early on, I realized the 9 to 5 is not really the way to live the way that I want to live, and really make enough money. And so for ever since that first full-time job, I have tried to make money online. I've sold essential oils, I've sold jewelry, I have done blogging, all the things, and nothing really ever worked before. I would make some money here and there, but it was never anything substantial. And so fast forward a few years, I got married, had my baby. My husband and I decided I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom and give up my full-time job, because the maternity leave in this country, 6 weeks is just, you're not physically healed, you're mentally. I couldn't even tell you my first name if you asked me at that point. I was so sleep deprived. So we were lucky enough that we were able to survive on just my husband's paycheck. But it was just to pay the bills. There wasn't much left after. And so, we had to get a car, and that was a big problem because it's expensive. Just this past May, we decided to take our daughter to Poland so she can meet our grandparents, because, we don't have much time left. My husband's grandparents are in their 90s. My grandpa ended up passing away 2 weeks after we came back. And so once we got back from that trip was when I just felt so down. I was like, I've tried all the things. Nothing has worked. I don't know what to do. And so I started to do something that I thought I would never try, which was manifesting. And so every night before bed, I would go on TikTok, I would look up manifestation videos. And 2 weeks into that, and this is why I feel like Legendary was meant to be in my life. One night I put my phone away. I wasn't going to go on TikTok anymore because I was so tired. It was after midnight, but I decided, I've done it for the past 2 weeks. Let me just grab my phone. Let me just do the manifestation. And the first video that came up was of a mom who talked about how she makes thousands of dollars a week through high ticket affiliate marketing. And she introduced me to the course, signed up right then and there. And here I am.
Wow. How interesting. How interesting. So it led right as soon as you started to focus on manifesting things inside of your life.
Yeah.
You started to see different opportunities or see things in a different way.
Yeah.
And we popped up on your radar. And now since then, how has life been? How has life changed?
With the manifesting, I just want to touch on that because I have so many people that message me and they're like, is this a scam? Is this real? And I'm like, I would think it's a scam if I haven't been manifesting, because I used to think everything is a scam. But because I worked on my mindset, I went from they're out to get me to this might be an opportunity. And that's the whole reason why I even took the course. I really feel like this is it. This is what's going to get me to where I want to be in life. I mean, from day one, I was like, oh, all the light bulbs were going off in my head. I'm like, this is why nothing worked before. Just the support that you offer, the step-by-step is something that I've never had before. That's what really was the difference between other ventures. And this is just like having that support, having all the steps that I need to take. And I love it. I love it.
And it looks great on you. You seem excited. You seem fired up about it.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you didn't have the support, didn't have the step-by-step. Explain to people who don't really know what that means. What does that mean for you? And what has the experience been like as you have actually gone through our training, been coached inside of our community and connected with other and actually seen the skills be used by other marketers inside of our community? How has the experience been different than other things in the past? And what do you mean by you haven't had that type of support before? Because this is important to hear for people to, as they wrap their head around the fact that what we're doing is not MLM. This is not a biz op. This is not a franchise. You're not buying a business in a box. You're learning skills that can be applied to be, for example, an affiliate of any company and sell any product. I mean, we have a couple of different core 4 business models that we like. We like to sell information, but people come in and think, well, because I paid the money, I should be making money now, as if it's sort of like an investment opportunity or, or a real scam. And it's like, well, the reason why it's not a scam is because you're actually going to school to learn skills and strategies for you then to go out and apply those into the 4 different business models that we teach. And of course, I could go on and on about why we're not a scam and all the obvious reasons why, but how is the support? Can you say more about what that means to you, how you've utilized it, and how it's made a difference for you?
Oh, I could talk about it all day. I've never, for example, I've tried blogging back when I was straight out of college. And, I would see other people that were successful at it. They made a ton of money. They had a ton of followers. And I wanted to do the same, but I didn't know what they did. I didn't know how they got there. It was up to me to figure it out. And going to the YouTube University, you just get so discouraged because there's so many things on there, and every person will tell you something different, and you don't know what's right. And by the time you figure it out, you've wasted already weeks trying something that doesn't work. And with Legendary, for me to literally have step by step by step, I mean, even I always encourage anybody that can get the dang blueprints. They are life-changing to have something where I could literally look at video tutorials that tells me, click on this, click on that. I don't know anything about computers. I'm not familiar whatsoever. If I didn't have that, I would never get started. I'd never even heard the word funnel before. So to have that, and not only the tech stuff, but to be able to call in 5 days a week and have someone look at your social media and ask them, why am I not growing? Why are people not clicking my link? And they'll help you. Like, that's crazy. Like, you can pay to have the knowledge to make unlimited money. And it's insane. Like, I always say that this course should be a requirement before you leave high school, because so many people would save so much money in college, so much time, so much stress trying to go to a job where they're very capped on their income. They have to ask their boss if they can have an extra hour for lunch so they can go to the dentist. Like, this to me was life-changing, just having that support and having the Facebook pages and, being able to email support, just all the things. It's just, I've never had that before.
Well, you laid it out perfectly. And not only the curriculum, the blueprints themselves, we teach 4 different business models, all the 4 ways to sell information online. And believe it or not, in the last 13 years that I've been doing this, those haven't changed. They haven't changed. You can either sell a course, a coaching program, or do an event. Mm-hmm. Every single guru, every single person out there, every business that sells information, those are the 4 main ways they make money. Or you can be an affiliate for a company that sells courses, coaching, or events. All of the other things that are add-ons to selling information, like writing or selling a book, writing or selling an ebook, blogging, posting on social media. Those are all marketing strategies, really. And that's what we come to learn here in Legendary, is that, oh, wait, I thought if I wrote a book, I'd be famous and get rich. And the truth is that most authors are like artists, broke, the struggling artist. Why? Because they don't have a back end to their business. They don't have a back end to their book. So they think that I'm going to sell a book for $5 or $10 or $20 and I'm going to sell millions of copies? You're not. And oh, by the way, you have to advertise and promote and spend time to actually market that book. Authors over the past 10 years who have added a course, a coaching program, an event, or all 3 to the back end of their book are the ones who have really gotten rich. Now, Brendan Burchard, he's a great digital marketer who started doing book launches with courses on the back end and was one of the first authors here in this space to really start to take his books, not only to New York Times bestsellers, but also to make huge amounts of money in the back end from selling his courses, coaching programs, and events. So we start to realize and learn here that, wow, this is how money is made. This is how money is made on the internet. And we also begin to tell the difference between, gurus who are teaching us how to do eBay and Amazon and drop shipping and Etsy and MLM and all these different things. But, oh, wow, they're really actually making their money selling courses, doing events. One of my favorite is my buddy, Eric Worre. And he's a network marketer who retired from network marketing and suddenly now is creating generic training, courses, coaching, and events for all network marketers. And this guy's making more money than he's ever made in his entire life. Why? Because he's selling courses, coaching, events to all network marketers instead of just building a downline in one company. These are the things that we start to realize when we come into this legendary world and start looking around. And now we understand how money is really being made on the internet. Eva, I call them the marketing shades. Suddenly I can look around on the internet. Oh, that's why that person's creating all those videos on YouTube, because they're directing me down in the description.
Yeah, it's not just for fun. Right?
To click their affiliate link. And so as you started to market after you had gone through some of our curriculum, got your funnel set up, you said you never knew what a funnel was. What was it like for you, and what obstacles, maybe mental limiting beliefs, did you have to overcome as you started to pick up that phone and start to create marketing content on the internet? Was that anxiety ridden for you? Was that empowering for you? Was it both? Talk to us about when it came time to put the rubber to the road, because you're sitting on Instagram right now with over 50,000 followers. Clearly you're taking action. How did you get started after you had taken some of the training it was time to implement?
Oh, anxiety through the roof. I mean, I feel like if you go back to my very first videos, you can hear my voice shaking. And I would do, 30-second clips and try to talk in them. And it would take me 6 hours just trying to do it over and over, listening to myself. But there's this book, and it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And so I knew that I am going all in. I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be anxious. I'm going to worry what everybody thinks, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I want to do this for my family. And so, those first videos were so stressful, and I always felt very low self-esteem in terms of what someone else is doing just is probably much better than anything I could ever do. So I had to overcome that. I would look at other affiliates and be like, I could never get there. How are, even the music they're picking must be better than the music I would pick for my reels. And it was just, I feel like this business, it's as much about work as it is about your mental just state and working on yourself. There were days where I would just cry, and I would be posting my reel while I'm crying because I felt so defeated. And the first month, I didn't even have, I don't think, 40 followers on Instagram. All my reels were getting maybe 3 views. If they got to 10, I was like, oh my God, I got 10 views. And it's just a lot of just working on yourself, continue to manifest, and just know that it's going to happen. And the only thing you have to do is just not quit. Just follow what they tell you to do and just don't quit. And that is your only job.
Yeah. I love that you are so honest and transparent about the first month. And that really is, if you can get through that first month or two, that valley of despair, if you can get through that, you can do anything. And it's going to be like that with anything. Nothing that you're new at, nothing that you're just starting out at as a newbie, whether you're doing yoga, whether you're playing football, whether you're a mom or a dad, whether you're, whether you're a human being who's just been born, I mean, come on, you just come out of a nice warm womb and you're like, being new at anything is hard. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that one of the best and most powerful traits of a successful person that I am constantly trying to adapt myself is to embrace being new at something, to really embrace the process of getting good
Mm-hmm.
instead of always being shocked and surprised and like, oh, I suck, this is so hard. It's like, of course I suck.
Yeah.
This is what I signed up for. I signed up for this because I want it. I mean, it's like professional athletes who, after they retire, they go and they play another sport. For example, a lot of them go play golf. Now, a lot of people think, oh, that person's just wasting their time hanging out on the golf course. And what that athlete is really doing is they're moving on to a sport that they're not the best at. Because being the best is in being in your comfort zone is not always where you're growing. And that's why so many of us go from our employee jobs to entrepreneurship, because we are good at our jobs and it's still not paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not providing us the lifestyle that we want. And so we have made a decision as a responsible, mature adult. We've made a decision to take a course. And that's exactly what you do when you're signing up for the 15-day challenge and even the blueprints. You haven't started a business yet. You haven't bought a franchise. You didn't buy a building and get an LLC or a corporate. You took a course. You're taking a course. And so as you take that course, you're learning something new. And then it's time to implement that thing that's new. And you're going to suck at it at
Mm-hmm.
the beginning. And you're going to have a tendency, like you said, to compare yourself. And I love what you said, that it wasn't just this. You kind of always found yourself
Mm-hmm.
comparing to other people and saying, hey, my stuff's not good enough. Being overly critical of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
which is so normal. So normal to do that. We all have a tendency to do that, to think that somebody else's art, somebody else's marketing, somebody else's video, somebody else's outfit. I mean, it's the grass is greener on the other side syndrome, trying to keep up with the Joneses, not realizing that I have everything that I need to be happy and successful right here within me. And
Mm-hmm.
so what have you learned about yourself, Ava, through this process of doing the comparison and becoming aware of your internal dialogue, those limiting beliefs? Because obviously you're aware of them, and that's
Yeah.
the most important part. So how have you began to overcome some of that negative internal dialogue so you can take action and experience success? Talk to us about what that journey, maybe the second or third month, was like as you didn't quit and found out ways to work through that.
So like I said, the first month I barely had 40 followers. And then the second month, I remember one morning I just like broke down to my husband and I was crying and I'm like, I'm not going to quit. When I went into this, my mentality was that I will do this for a full year without making a single dollar. That's how much I believe in it.
Keep talking. I'm
So
having
so I remember I had this meltdown and I was like, I don't know, I'm not getting more than 3 views. I've been uploading 3 times a day for a month. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And that day was the day that I had a reel go viral. It wasn't crazy viral. It was like 23,000 views. And that's what kind of started everything for me. And what I realized is that I used to look at everybody else and think that they really have it figured out. They really know exactly what they're doing. If they're uploading at 10 a.m., 10 a.m. must be the time where all the people are on Instagram, and that's when they're getting all the views. So
Right.
I just think I have to do everything that they're doing.
Mm.
And then I realized nobody really knows everything. Nobody has it figured out. Everybody, you just got to fake it till you make it kind of a thing, where you keep going. And one day, a few weeks ago, I just randomly realized that now I don't feel like I'm less than everyone else. I actually feel like I'm enough. And it was just this like light bulb went off in my head. I never felt that way before. And I think the fact that I stuck to it, I kept going. One of the things that will help you feel more confident is if you do the things you say you'll do. And that's exactly what I did. I stuck to it. I had days where I would cry. I had days where, I just felt defeated, continued uploading, continued showing up. And it really helped my self-esteem a lot. And now I know that no matter what, a lot of people think when you're growing, your success, it just goes like this, right? But really, it's like you have lows, and then you have a bigger low, and I worked through them all, and it really just like it gave me so much confidence, because I know even if I don't make any money until if I stop making commissions until February, I'm still gonna upload 3 times a day. I'm still gonna show up every single day, and it just like really helped me get out of that mindset that I'm not good enough.
So as you're talking about this, not comparing yourself and being on your own timeline, we of course still, and this is fine, all questions are welcome, and we'll answer them and try to address them. We do have people who are asking, what's your timeline and are you profitable yet? And would you talk about your timeline? When did you start marketing, and are you profitable? And are you, obviously you're growing your social media and your confidence is building. How has all of that, all of that excitement, that positive self-esteem, and you overcoming your, your limiting beliefs in your negative internal self-talk, how has that also turned into profits for you? And tell us the timeline so we understand exactly when you started.
Yeah, so I started on July 1st of this year is when I uploaded, and that's when I had all my systems up, and I put in the link in my bio. It was in the evening, so really July 2nd, I feel like, was my first full day. And the first month I had no views, no followers. I mean, the only person ever viewing my Instagram stories was a fake account that every reel that I uploaded, they would comment on saying, send me the reel so I can upload it to my page. And I never get rid of them. I'm like, this is my only friend for this whole month. That's the only person. So then about a month in is when I had that reel go like mini viral, and that kind of started things going for me. And so from the first month until I hit the second month, I grew by about 40,000 followers. I started getting commissions within about 2 weeks, but then I started getting the bigger commissions about 2 months in. And yeah, so that was my growth. And I feel like I'm still pretty new. I'm still learning. I'm still, working my way to everything, but I feel like it's on the right track, definitely. And I also learned that I have to just do things that are me. When I do reels, I could see a reel go crazy viral, but it involves some kind of little dance, and I have 2 left feet. I can't dance. It makes me cringe. I can't do it. I don't care how many views I would get. I only do things that feel true to me. And I feel like that really shows in the videos too. Like people can tell if you're kind of like faking it and if you're not being yourself.
Yeah.
And you just have to be yourself. Like people connect to other people, and yeah.
So is the commissions and the profit coming in faster and in a more sustainable and also maybe exciting way than things you've done in the past? I mean, are you finding this to be just this particular business model, when executed, easier to set up and faster and I say easy and fast with a grain of salt? Everybody's heard the backstory, has now heard the timelines, and no profit and no results are guaranteed to anybody. But do you find this to be easier to set up and faster to get into profit than the other things that you've done in the past, including the MLM, et cetera, et cetera?
Oh my gosh, 100%. Because you have all the tools you need. You are not just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing if it'll stick, like you have the tools, you know exactly what to do. And that makes it 100 times easier. It's not a quick thing. You have to show up every single day. You have, whether you want to or not, you might have bad days, you still show up, but it is so much easier and so much quicker, especially if you have the extra support. If you do get the blueprints, you have like the step-by-step. You can call support 5 days a week, every week if you want. And it just makes things just go by so much faster because you're not left to research everything on your own and try things out and see if they work. Like this, you have the information, it will work. All you have to do is just implement it.
Which is not easy. That's the not easy part.
The not easy is your mental state to show up every day, but like actually doing what they tell you to do, I feel like, it's all written down. You can just follow it. You just have to work on your headspace.
Yeah. So true. And this is an interesting question. Jacqueline says, what does it take to get to 20,000 a month consistently? Find out. Show us, figure it out. Everybody has to do their own test. For some people, it seems from the outside looking in simpler, right? And what somebody else does or is able to achieve, we've heard this over and over again. I've done 820 of these interviews with various different guests who are having various different types of success as affiliate marketers, as course creators, coaches, etc. And over and over, what we hear on this show is, I did exactly in the beginning what other people did, and it didn't work for me. I had to find my own groove. I had to find my own message. What I realized was, even if I copied somebody else word for word, video for video, it's not going to come out. The results on the end are not going to come out the same. And I think that's sort of what you're alluding to, is that other people may be dancing, maybe twerking, maybe doing this, maybe doing that, right? And it's like, that may be their thing. They may be super authentic and comfortable doing that, and it comes across as really natural. And when we go to try to copy something that's not particularly natural to us, it's easy to be able to see that comes through on the videos, And so the way to get to 20,000 a month consistently is to make the mistakes. It's to do, at the beginning, you're most likely, everybody does the same thing. We copy people. We look at what other people are doing. We say, tell me exactly what you're doing so I could do it too. Then we try that. Then it doesn't work. Then we want to quit. And then we realize, wait, if I'm going to be successful at this, if I'm going to get to 10,000 a month consistently, 20,000 a month consistently, I need to take the strategies, the frameworks, the skill sets that they're teaching here. I need to then look at other people, lots of examples here on the show, and I need to take inspiration from them. I need to understand how they overcame the mental limiting beliefs inside of their head, how they stopped comparing. I need to relate and identify with the first month really sucking. And then I need to find my own message, and I need to figure out what works for me. Because if I'm just going to go out there on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm going to look like everybody else, that is going to be the nail in my coffin. That is exactly how not to get to 20,000 a month or 10,000 a month. And so can you talk to us a little bit, Eva, about how you have found your authentic voice? How have you scaled up to making thousands of dollars a month? And, one of the reasons why we don't get into specific numbers here on this show, just so everybody knows, is because we don't want to make income claims to make it sound like it's easy to get to 20,000 a month, or it's easy to get to 10,000 a month, or it's easy to get to 100,000 a month. It's not, right? It's not. However, once you find your authentic voice and once you find the marketing message that works for you for whatever product you're promoting, it becomes a lot simpler and people start to flock to you and want to take your recommendations a lot more easily than when you haven't found that message. So, what has it been like for you, and how have you come to finding your voice, finding your message, and coming to terms with what is working for you?
A lot of trial and error. I mean, I used to, really have a hard time with my captions on my reels. And I used to think they have to look like everybody else's. Then I finally, at one point, I unfollowed every single person everywhere. I unfollowed all the Facebook groups, all the people on social media. And I just had tunnel vision on what my message is, what I want to do, how I want to do it. I stopped looking at everyone else because that messes with your head so much. Whether someone makes crazy money or they make no money, you'll feel like I'll never live up to this person. Or what if they didn't make any money for a year? What if that's me? And it just like gets to your head. You have to just focus on yourself. And I've had so many conversations with other moms that reached out to me. Mom, I always have like just such a soft spot for moms because I know what it's like to feel like, oh my gosh, I just had this brand new baby and now I have to go back to work and I have to leave them. And I had the biggest anxiety. I couldn't even leave my daughter for 5 minutes. And so I've had so many conversations with moms about, what it's like for them and why they want to do this and why they want to stay home. And it really helped me kind of figure out exactly what I want my message to be and how I want to say it. And just really just like not looking at everyone else, just figuring it out on my own. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of trial and error. I've done some videos where I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I should archive that. I can't look at that. I don't want anybody to ever see it. But, through time, you just kind of get there. You just have to keep going. And, talking to people really helps because people will send me my own videos and they'll be like, I love this video. This really helped me with whatever it is that I'm dealing with. Like this really inspired me. And through all of that, I kind of like figured out what I am and what my message is and how I want to show it. It's just time, honestly.
What has it been like for you to have complete strangers responding, reacting to your content versus probably some of the things you've done in the past where some of your friends and family wouldn't even give you the time of day?
Oh my gosh, I love it. I always tell people like, don't be scared to send me a DM. It's like makes my day. I love talking to people. I love explaining it. I have so many moms that reach out and like if you're a mom, like you're already my best friend. I want to help you so badly. And it's just been I love the fact that this doesn't involve your friends and family. That's what always made me cringe. I always felt so like weird about it and I never wanted to do it. And nobody except for my husband even knows about my Instagram. Two of my friends just found me like 2 weeks ago. It showed up in their recommendations, but I haven't told anybody. And I always feel like strangers are more likely to talk with you and take your advice and want to do what you're showing more so even than friends and family. Because one of the friends that found me, they were like, is this real? Like, is this true? Or is this a scam? Like strangers are so much more likely to actually like believe in you, I found.
Isn't that odd? Isn't that
It's
weird?
crazy.
It really is. It's just a crazy phenomenon that even to this day, I've had a difficult time wrapping my head around, why that is. And, I've just kind of stopped. I've stopped, you know, trying to figure that out. Once I realized that, and I think I realized that pretty early on in my career, because I started out with network marketing too. I was working construction with my father. I was getting clean back in 2008, and I was working construction with my father in 2008 and 2009. And around 2009 is when I got into network marketing and, tried that for about a year. I mean, I really did. I gave it a hell of an effort. I think I I did all the things, made my first $2.50 from sponsoring my father, into the business. Had a couple of companies shut down on me, and drove around with the magnets on the side of my truck and the signs in my yard. Thought I was going to get rich because I lived on a main street with all the traffic driving by. And I'd wake up every morning and some homeless guy had kicked my signs into the yard. And they were halfway down the block, had been ran over all night long, and I was just like, this sucks. This is crazy. I can't get my friends and family to give me the time of day. And I also don't have like the respect and authority of a judge or a mayor or a business owner. You know what I mean? Like sometimes some of those people in the community can get people's attention a lot easier than a kid who's working construction and got clean a year and a half ago, And so when I got online, I realized, man, the only thing that people saw about my life or knew was just the square of the face that I'm showing here on video, and my ability to be able to deliver value, to educate, to entertain. And it didn't even have to be my own knowledge. It could have been stuff that I literally just learned and I was translating over and sharing, or something that I just did. I got into actually showing network marketers how to set up sales funnels and generate leads online. That was my very first venture into affiliate marketing. And I was absolutely blown away that total strangers were sending me messages from the videos that I was making saying, wow, this is a game changer. Wow, thank you so much. Wow, love your content. Wow, you changed my life. I'm going, I couldn't get the time of day from my best friends or my family. And here I got these total strangers who were acknowledging me and also taking my recommendations, buying stuff from me. And that's when I really started to act as if, started to believe in myself, started to present with more confidence, because I also connected the dots that I could, if I learned what I was talking about. So if I learned whatever I needed to learn, say I was in the dog training niche and I had some expertise, or I went and learned it, or say I was in the affiliate marketing niche or the network marketing niche. If I learned something and became somewhat, and I also realized that most people know little to nothing. So if I even know a little bit to an average amount, then I have value to deliver. That's one of the things that people don't realize, is that just read a damn book, just take a short course, and you have more knowledge on that topic than 99% of people. And you now can. A lot of times we underutilize, we minimize the amount of knowledge and value that we actually can deliver. But take a short course on any topic and you'll have more knowledge than 99% of people. So here I was learning about marketing, getting obsessed about it because it was so painful before, the things that I was doing. So now I had this kind of plethora of knowledge. Here I am, a 25-year-old kid, was homeless and drug addicted not long ago, but I'm learning about marketing. And I realized, holy shnikes, I got more damn knowledge than 99% of people out here. And I started to share that damn knowledge. And I started to try to do it in an entertaining way. And I realized, wow, there's a lot of people who know nothing about this. And they don't give a damn what I sound like, what I look like. Just the simple fact that I'm sharing something that will help them is enough for them to want to listen more. Take my recommendations. And it seems like that's what you're finding out as well as you come online. What has been your kind of favorite part, besides making money, of this journey since July?
Oh, talking to people. I'm such a I mean, like every day I take a few hours when my daughter is napping. Although she started dropping her nap, she doesn't nap every day now, so it's been a little tough. But just talking to people and hearing their stories, because I've had people that would tell me, I've tried selling all these things, I've tried MLMs, and I've tried all Amazon, and nothing ever worked. And this course like has all the information I've been looking for that I didn't know I needed before. And that is really my favorite, just to see other moms just change their situation, be able to be home with their babies and not have to answer to a boss and have only 2 weeks off a year and wait for the 2 days that you get with your kids all day, out of the 7, which is just complete BS in my opinion. So just like hearing their stories, sharing my story has just been my favorite. I feel like I have like a group of friends, honestly, on my account. Like everyone, I just see them as my friend.
Now, how have you now become inspired and excited in the fact that you are not only making money, but also making connections? Now, obviously, you also just touched on serving people and
Hmm.
getting fulfillment from this, but
Hmm.
it sounds like you're also kind of having this element of creating sort of new friends and new connections. And whereas before, again, we have our local friends in our local area, some of whom we've known all of our lives, some of whom we don't even know why we're still friends with them anymore. We're like, this person, I don't even feel good when I'm around them or when I leave them, but for some reason I keep hanging out with them. How have you also become, at least it seems, somewhat electrified by the fact that you're making new friendships and connections in this process? And does it remind, what comes up for you when I say this little quote? It's easier for a client to become a friend than a friend to become a client.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, I do have some friends in real life that my mom calls them energy vampires. They just like drain you. Um, uh, but the friends that I've made online, I mean, like there are moms that I had someone who started the course and they made their first commission. I'm like, oh my God, you made your first commission. Like it's just so fun to connect to others, because at the end of the day, yeah, you start your own business to make money, right? That's the point of it, but it's so much more than that. Like I just want the message to be out there for people to just, you don't have to enter to a boss, you don't have to go into a job, you can do this from home. Like that is such a passion of mine now, that just to see people do this. And I tell them all the time, if you don't, I actually have said this on my Instagram multiple times, if you don't vibe with me, if you don't like me, I would rather you take this course through someone else than not take it at all, because I just want everyone to know the possibilities, that you don't have to be, dread Mondays, and you don't have to wait for the long weekend to enjoy your life. Like that just like really lights a fire in me. And just like I found this new passion, which is also, as a mom, it's so fun to have, because when you have a baby, your whole life is about the baby. So to have something for yourself that you're doing on the side that's only yours, where you can connect with other people, it's just so nice to have.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned having a baby and sort of the baby becomes your life. And we've
Hmm.
all been through that in one way, shape, or form, even if it's a job. It's like you get a job and the freaking job becomes your life.
Hmm.
And it is so nice, even if you have a baby or you have a job or you have this other responsibility. That's really what you're talking about. You're referring to a responsibility.
Hmm.
You have a responsibility that you're responsible for, that you're going
Hmm.
to do it no matter what,
Yeah.
because you're responsible for it, or you have to do it, such as going to your job and to put food on the table and pay your bills.
Hmm.
You had a baby, so you're going to take care of that baby. Um, a lot of times, it is, so we sort of give everything to that thing, and we are martyrs in our own lives. We say, well, I've got to be a mom, or I've got to kind of give, I got to, my job takes up all my time. I don't. And the truth is that that is not good self-care. It's
Hmm.
really not. It's really not good self-care to give of ourselves to other people. And even if we have a job, we're giving ourselves to other people by being of service inside of that company or going and doing that job. Even if you don't do this, and I love what you said about even if you don't take the course through me or take my recommendation, and every affiliate marketer should have that attitude in their marketing. But I love to relate that to this other point, which is even if you don't do take our course and learn these strategies, and start your own business, you should have something for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve to have something for yourself. Our community is made up of people that thing that they want is their own business. But even if it's a golfing hobby, even if it is going out and going to the beach, even if it's going fishing, the cool thing about that I've found about starting this business is that it gives me my time back so I can go and actually even do other hobbies like fishing. Fishing is one of my hobbies. Boating. I love to go out on my boat. I love to fish. And this gives me the time to be able to do that. This also gives me the time to spend more quality time with my family and with my kids. So the time that I'm with them, I'm not as exhausted and trying to crunch so much into a little bit of time. The problem is that I have to go through the period that we talked about earlier in the show of it sucking for a little while I learn these strategies, while I learn these skills, so I can get to the place to where I am making money, I am having fun at this, and this feels easier. Could you touch, Ava, on the fact that now, and you correct me if I'm wrong, does this feel more natural to you? Do you feel like instead of sitting down and it's like, oh, I got to take a test or I've got to do something that's hard, are you now in the phase of your business that you have kind of come out of that valley of despair and you're doing it more naturally now? You're finding the time to move and flow throughout your day more easily. You're recording videos and you're happy with them the first or second recording rather than the 14th or 40th recording. And the business is now more integrated into your lifestyle in a way that makes it all run smoother, more comfortable, and actually brings you happiness and fulfillment again, instead of the sort of sucky hardness that you experienced when you first got started.
Oh yeah. I tell everybody that ever asks me about, when you started, how was it? And I tell them the first 2 months, just accept that it's going to suck. Like, just accept that you're not going to know what you're doing. You're going to feel super awkward. And don't think about money. Just take that out of the equation for the first 2 months and just worry about establishing yourself, establishing your seat at the table, because it's a new venture you're going into. And don't expect it to be easy, because I have so many people that, they would message me and they'll be like, I've done it for 3 weeks and I haven't made any money and I still don't like doing reels. And I'm like, you need to give yourself that time frame of grace where it's okay for it to suck and it doesn't discourage you. So I gave myself 2 months when I started. And now, at first it was really tough for me. I needed like a few hours at least to do one reel because I kept doing it over and over again. And then now what I do is, if my daughter doesn't nap, I'll grab her, hold her, and we'll do a little dance, and then I'll put some text on top of it. It just doesn't seem like such a project anymore. It just seems like a natural part of the day. So if I'm on a walk, I'll put my phone down, I'll record us doing a little walk. Like, it's just I do it in the little cracks of the day that I have, and it's just so much easier because I don't feel like it has to be this big production like I did in the beginning, where the light has to be perfect and I have to look good and like all the things. You just find a comfortable way to just like do it throughout the day. You're making your morning coffee, just record making your morning coffee. It doesn't have to be big.
Yeah. It really doesn't. And I love the natural flow that you're getting into. What is this journey since, June, July, when you started taking the course, and even, when you started to focus on manifesting the things in your life that you want, what have you learned about yourself through this process that you didn't know or you needed to be reminded of?
I learned that I can do things that I put my mind to. Because in the past, nothing has ever worked. All the other ventures that I've tried, I would quit and I would just always have this kind of opinion of myself that I'm like quitter, that I don't stick to things. But it turns out it wasn't me. It was just that I never had the recipe for how to succeed. And so I learned that if I believe in something, I can really keep going no matter how tough it gets. And it gave me a lot of self-confidence, because now I know, I mean, even if this, if I don't do this, I have the knowledge to do something else. Like I now know that I can do things. I can follow through with them. I'm not a quitter. I, people message me and they say that I've inspired them in some way, which also makes me feel really good, and it makes me feel like I'm making a difference. So it's just been a real ride when it comes to my mental, just my mental state, because I went from being so insecure, feeling like everything I'm doing cannot possibly be any better than anybody else, to now feeling like I got this. You know what? I'm going to do it my way. I can do this. And I can help other people along the way. It really just, the mindset is just, it's such a mindset game when you get into this business. Like really, that's like most of it, I feel like.
Yeah. Wow,
Right.
that is beautiful to hear. It really is. I'm serious, and so many of us, if not all of us, including myself, can relate to that, of just feeling like no matter what you do, it's you. It's not the thing, or it's not what, it's you. It's me. I'm everything and I'm not. I've had a lot of success in my life and career. There's no doubt, but that doesn't mean that throughout all of that success, there wasn't, from every win, there wasn't 10 challenging failures in between each major win. It's just that I don't share all of the failures. I don't go on and make that my identity. I don't make that my story. I make my story the fact that I overcame a lot of shit to get here. There was a lot of challenges and failures. I often talk about being homeless, being drug addicted, being a high school dropout, a teenage father, all these things. And also the network marketing failures, and the challenges at the beginning when nobody would pay me any attention, when I was in the comparisonitis, when I thought I needed to look and sound like everybody else that I saw on the internet. I remember looking and finding this one guy who I thought was the answer to all my problems, and I parted my hair when I was doing it. I was going to part my hair just like him, wear identical shirt. I swear to God. I mean, my comparisonitis and imposter syndrome wasn't just about copying what somebody else said. It was dadgum parting my damn hair, the same way as another gentleman. And, eventually I just was like, this is not going to work. I hate this. There's nothing worse than feeling like a fraud. And that is that imposter syndrome, that we are more critical of ourselves than other people are. And when we finally just embrace the suck and realize that, hey, when I'm starting something new, it is going to suck. But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of the beginning, is that you are learning how to be great at that thing. That's the whole beauty. That's the whole process, is that I'm going to go from sucking to being great. That's the journey. There is no destination. And when we embrace that, man, that's when I think we start to have the type of success, excitement, confidence, self-esteem sort of building experiences that you're sharing. And it's so refreshing to hear it. It's been so wonderful to talk to you, so transparent and authentic about your challenges at the beginning. I thank you so much, Eva, for, coming on this morning. It looks wonderful on YouTube, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, your energy, your smile, your levels of happiness and fulfillment. I can tell when somebody is in their groove, is in their vibe, and you're there. And it looks beautiful. It looks wonderful on you. So keep up the great work. Come back and see me. Keep us updated here. I hope to see you at a mastermind one day too, because
of course, yeah.
we are in Florida, and it'd be so nice to be able to hang out. And my best to you and your family, your husband. You guys keep up the wonderful work and stay legendary, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. All right. See ya. All right, my friends, go and follow Eva over on TikTok and Instagram at Eva _ the Momfluencer. Now that's spelled EVA _ The Mom Fluencer. So the mom and then Fluencer. So Eva _ the Mom Fluencer. And that's, of course, not spelled with an A, but it's spelled with an E. My friends, what a fantastic way to start off the week. Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you? I told you at the beginning of the show, it was going to be another absolute mind boggler, mind blower. I mean, completely just inspired me and fired me up to have a fantastic day and a wonderful week. And again, those of you who are going to come to the mastermind at the end of the week, I am so excited to hang out with you. I'm so excited to see our team. As a matter of fact, we have many of our team that's flying into Orlando. We're doing double events. We're actually having a mastermind event for all of our clients and students, and then we're having a team event in Orlando for our team. So it's going to be a week to remember for me, for our team, for you. And if you can't make it to this one, that's okay. No problem. We love you. We're going to stream Wake Up Legendary from the mansion, at least on Friday. So you'll be able to join in and kind of maybe hear from a few folks at the mastermind as we pass the microphone around and allow you to sort of sit in for an hour with us there in the mansion and hear from a couple of the guests, maybe the speakers and the people who are there, who you may recognize, familiar faces. And again, we're going to just keep chugging along. We'll be here every single day. Again, even though we have a mastermind coming up this week, we're not going to stop. It's not going to be, oh, we've got to put it down. We've got to pause. We can't do Wake Up Legendary. We're going to be here every single day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, including on Friday at the mastermind, because we want to be consistent. That is the only way to succeed. No excuses, no matter what's going on. Even if you're doing something else, you figure out a way to integrate your marketing, your business into your life, into the other parts of your business. And, create leverage, right? You create leverage. And that's exactly what we're going to do here with Wake Up Legendary. We're going to stream on Friday to you, and it will double as content and entertainment and education right there at the mansion for mastermind guests. You see? So there's ways to be able to stack the work that you're doing and integrate it into different parts of your business, exactly like we're going to do with Wake Up Legendary while we're at the mansion. So again, I'm really excited. I'm going to go and prepare a little bit for the event now. And I can't wait to see those of you who are going to be there in Orlando on Friday. And the rest of you, we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. As always, get out of here. Be legendary. Peace.